Supperoonie. My name's Demosthenes Alathea, and I'm a wearer of many hats. Peace signs all abound. So, as you sit across from me in this bar, I want you to know about me. If I can functionally speak, I just want you to know a little bit about why I'm here doing this channel and basically be open and honest no matter the cost. Okay? Honesty. Best policy. But overall, I have a few things to do on YouTube. YouTube specifically, which might diverge into other things. Demos Axiom archives, where I discuss philosophy and thought-provoking things like you're on right now. A Demos controller, where I play games that nobody watches. Yippee. There is a channel called Demosthenes, which is my personal channel where nothing significant happens. Nothing much but memes and grandiose shit posts and other stuff. I also run an up-and-coming business venture called Rejoicebox Interactive, which governs all of this stuff. It's not officially a business entity yet. Just so you know. Just so you know. Do not come after me, IRS. Not yet. IRS, you can do that later. My point is to say that I'm doing a lot in this channel is basically my outlet when I want to propose questions and tackle extremely hard and difficult issues at times where I can't feasibly do so in other areas. And this is important to me, which is why I titled this My Character Development. Yeah. So let it be known that I understand the VTuber community is overall a wholesome place, except for a lot of lewd areas that we all can agree that is pretty iffy and sometimes. But overall, we, including myself, don't appreciate politics and VTuber content. Not really. These orbs, they're getting on my nerves. They don't usually hover around me like this. I guess I'm just in the mojo! Either that or I'm drunk, I don't know. There could be something to be said about, Kirsha doing her bridge thing, which DEI stuff. And sure, that's fine. And also, there's a VTuber that does this, but she also has a master's degree in journalism. So that's kind of her shtick. Yeah. But there are times when I find myself reeling over not really having too many VTubers who talk about extremely hard-hitting issues in a respectable manner, simply because it's extremely easy to assassinate your own character by doing that. And I just gave the example of Kirsha, maybe Smugalana, or one of Fillion's off-the-cuff jokes that I totally, not honestly, do not laugh incredibly hard at. Edgy jokes from cocaine addicts are my favorite. And Fillion's not even the first one. This is why I'm sort of terrified to be a part of the overall VTuber community. Not because of anything narcissistic, not at all. But I feel like more like I wouldn't fit in areas that I desperately want to be a part of and regularly view and enjoy from a distance. I'm sure someone can understand that, right? The things I want to tackle are wide and expansive, and both my politics, beliefs, and my religion aren't necessarily welcome in a lot of places. On top of the fact that I'm a guy, that puts another knock on me, but that part isn't a one-size thing overall. I'm not that super sexual guy, who always talks in a sultry voice, always begging for your money, without ever stating, give me money. By the way, give me money. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If I was just a man, then I'd need to have a personality. But as a philosopher, I have opinions that are malleable, yet important for the life I have lived, am living, and will live. So while I might not have the ego issues, I do have the self-esteem issues, but I didn't always have this, honestly. So here's my life story. I know you wanted. Prior to 2022, I was pretty normal, all things considered. Not really. I was a nut bar. Complete nutcase. But in 2022, I was pushed to nearly the end of my life on multiple occasions, and I'm still fighting things such as grief, CPTSD, and physical health issues that affect my emotions. I'm currently on a journey to recover that, and this is the only place I can find that's safe. Technically, really. This channel, my other channels, and other things I have in my life. It's all important to me and my recovery. So consider the character you're watching as me, a person behind the screen, or an idiot. That's also plausible. I needed a functional restart. My hopes are that my viewers and community will see actual and proper growth from someone who feels extremely low, so that I can give hope to those who just feel just like I do. Okay, just moving on. Perfectly moving on. Forward, may stumble a bit, that's fine. My courage reignited when VTubers started reacting to Shuon Head's gender war videos because I felt that it was like something I truly wanted to talk about but never had the ability to, or shall we say, the confidence to. I've seen a lot of people react a lot of different ways, and I myself have reacted on this channel as well. I'm new to reaction content overall, but also my issues caused me to lose my confidence even in the ability to speak. And I'm the type of guy that doesn't settle. Like at all. So, I'm going to push myself to get better, but it's not easy. But reacting to a video can give me more confidence in my ability to speak until I actually start reacting. There were times in certain videos where I said something and immediately thought, oh no, that's not right. Why did I say it like that? I don't believe that. Which is why I have less than zero confidence in ever live streaming, okay? So that's not something you'll see from me, if ever. But maybe in the future when my confidence is finally reawoken and I'm more able to control my tongue and not say crap I, myself, don't like. Also, I'm a writer at heart.
A poet, if you will.
But as I write, I wish to share, so I'm going to do what no one else will dare. Stop rhyming because it's cringe. I am cringe, but I am free. No, I want to throw out thought-provoking videos, sometimes with animations and others without. The animations might be cringe, so perhaps prepare to scrunch into the black hole that will form at the center of your face. I'm only one person, and I don't really know how to animate, but like my music, my writing, and my videos, I'm just going to throw my insecurities to the wind and possibly right into your knees, but I swear that'll be an accident. But no joke. There are opinions I have that are not widely accepted, and I understand that. I don't fault anyone for viewing me as an evil person for holding these beliefs, just the same as I view myself as a human being with an intrinsic value that cannot be shattered by anyone else's other than themselves. Truthfully, it is my belief that you make yourself lesser than by how you treat people. But nowadays, criticizing a person's identity as in broad scope is tantamount to attacking the individual, except I don't view it that way. If we allow it to be viewed that way, we've just allowed our identity to be handed over to be an excuse for bad behavior, and that's not right. Not in my worldview, at least. I might say some things, sometimes some harsh things, but I will not be dissuaded that I still love people in the agape manner. Love your enemies, as it were. If I had enemies to hate, I wouldn't be such a kind person. Now, if somebody threatens me, that won't guarantee you a high road, simply because my view of worth and value is reversed. Those who are high and mighty are in areas I never want to be in with my identity and self. I don't want to be high and up in the clouds while everyone else is burning in the mud and the dirty. And dirty. Well, see what I mean about talking? I want to get into the mud and say, hey, look at me, I might be dirty, but at least I'm not making excuses or shifting the blame for my bad behavior. Making it my resolve. At least then, you'll be justified with keeping me in line if I ever go off the rails. As long as you don't bring me back down to where I'm currently at every time I make righteous progress in my soul and being with that a purple one. The thing is, if you're a good person, you won't always have a positive effect on the world. It's just that complicated, it's kind of weird. I don't like it. Sometimes a good die young and the evil person lives to be like 106 years old and then they die peacefully in their sleep. I don't know. The world can react backwardly if you're good nature, and I've experienced that myself firsthand. I have a lot of opinions, some good and some bad that I would prefer not to have, in all honesty, but I am not convinced of any other truthful alternative based on what I see today. The opinions that are bad are usually things that have been held over from a time when I wasn't the kindest person, and I'm not the kindest now, or so I tell myself. I'm kinder than I was, and the opinions I have now are what I feel are the truth, but sometimes I'm corrected, and I pivot accordingly. Because I'm well aware, I am a philosopher, I do not play by societal rules, degrees get disease, you know what I'm saying. Degrees get disease. Degrees get disease. Oh, I should put that on a shirt. Oh, man. It's also why I don't have any degrees. Neither college nor temperature. And probably never will. I'm just a weirdo. I'm just a cute little weirdo. And a gamer. And a VTuber. Well, I don't know why I made that face. Not a good VTuber, I should say. But I do want to share some of my opinions, and it's the only place where I can do it without being completely shut down. Why am I making this face? See, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. But that doesn't mean you should listen to me. Okay? My opinions aren't the end-all be-all, and they won't be the end-all be-all for me either. They're just the way I believe in what I think, and sometimes delve into how others should act and think, which I don't like the word should, because it's just so overbearing, like, you should do this, or you should do that. Well, I usually just reply with, you should close that mouth of yours, before I do exactly the opposite of what you tell me to. Because I am that type of person, or I used to be. I still have problems, like, if you tell me to do something that is absolutely dumb and stupid, I am going to do the complete and total opposite. Or, like, if you tell me to hurry up, I'll say, okay, and then proceed to do it incrementally slower and get on your nerves. Though, my opinions might be seemingly universally disliked from any and all sides. Who knows? Some might agree, some might not. I'm hyperbolizing this because I don't have, like, weird white supremacist or cult-like stuff. That's garbage. I do not like that in the slightest. I also don't like leftism, in a way. You know, like the, not the, you know, like just you're on the left and then I'd hate you. No. It's more like, hey, you know that big giant glob monster that calls itself the left but is in fact so far left that it came out on the right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Authoritarian hogwash. You can call them Nazis, you can call them communists, socialists, whatever. They usually guise themselves as socialists, which we all know that's not true. See what I'm talking about? Opinions. Everyone online complains about issues and yet never actually addresses it within their heart, as in their soul, not their physical beating heart, not unless they want a gastric bypass. And they never address it to others to try and figure out a proper solution to this overarching disease of society. I'm just a guy with a burps. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel, but the thing is, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Okay, hypocrisy is not on my. I'm trying to think of a rhyme. I forget. There is a word that rhymes with hypocrisy that fits this so perfectly, and I forgot it. Oh well, I said I wasn't going to rhyme anymore. You get it. You get what I'm trying to say. No hippo for me, unless it's one of those cute little pygmy hippos. I will take that and I will love it to death. Not to death. I don't want to kill it. I want to make it and have it live at like double its lifespan. That's just how adorable it is. It might can kill anything in its path, but hey, that's perfect. But you know what's not perfect? Me! Because I have to go on tangents. My brain doesn't function properly. And it's not ADHD. That's confirmed. It's not autism. That's also confirmed. I think it has a lot more to do with PTSD than I think. Because PTSD looks a lot like ADHD, but it's not the same type. Anyway, VTuber society is roughly the most polite society I've been in. So I respect this place enough to not get too close to others in the scene. Fearing my opinions or beliefs would bring backlash to their brand. In certain ways, I'm cognizant of just how unwanted someone like me is to nearly any society. Someone who believes and loves and continues to march forward regardless of how anyone else regards me in what may seem like outdated beliefs to them, but are timeless and more in the realm of being correct beliefs to me, even if they're not 110% correct. They could be closer to 98% or 51%, but you have to dichotomize that into perfectly correct, possibly correct, leaning, centrist, and all this other stuff. But overall, I have mostly all the time agreed with the overarching VTuber community when something goes down that's absolutely wrong. Like, the Hogwarts Legacy thing. I was with the mass people that said, yeah, you probably shouldn't go around marking people who do that. And I think kind of stupid for doing that because that's just a target thing. And then other things like the Niji Sanji situation. Oh boy. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. But if you do want me to have an opinion or want me to show my opinion, the only way I will do that, and for like any other greater or more controversial thing, and what we could learn from their mistakes. Because this is a philosophy channel. Why did they do that thing? How can we mitigate that thing from occurring? And what we can do to remedy the situation if that's possible. You know, instead of, talking about problems like most people do, actually think on on how it applies to your actual life. That way, if we can't actually, fix the problem that is actually the problem, you could theoretically, if you do it right, fix any problems such as those in your own life. Which that is my main mission. At least somebody out there's got to agree with that. Come on. And considering the massive amount of bad actors trying to get into the community to ruin it has been abundant in recent years, I've kind of always sided with a normalized portion of the community, which I've already said that. I don't know why I reiterated it. I don't agree with anything these bad actors believe because they're bullies who were rightfully shut down for targeting innocent individuals. But VTubing should be a welcoming place for any and all people who want to get away from a failing world, because this is failing. It is oh so definitely failing. And it's simply that some beliefs I might seem threatening to someone who isn't mature enough yet to understand that I mean as lovingly as I can be. I'll provide examples later. It's nothing weird, and it's nothing bad overall. I don't consider it bad, but there's gonna be some times when I say something and everybody's gonna be like, no, that's wrong. And I'm gonna be like, you're probably right. But that's the thing. I'm saying this because when I do say something stupid, I'm probably gonna grift. It's gonna look like a grift when it's probably not. I don't want to grift. I want to be honest with myself. And I want to be honest with you. I'm trying to say this perfectly, but I'm not. Because my brain. I'll discuss it later. Because I am a philosopher. Philosophers throughout the centuries have been socially ostracized for asking too many questions about society and people's identity for me to feel comfortable not eventually being labeled something I'm not. Which, that just happens to cute girls doing cute things nowadays. Which is not good. And my mental brainscape is absolutely not on par to be threatened in a death threat sort of manner. Of course, this gives them fodder to do that, but I will say, I don't get threatened easily. I don't get bullied easily. This isn't to say that VTuber community is brain dead like that. They might be down bad at times, but not morally corrupt or bankrupt, whichever one. VTuber corporations, however, that might be a different story. What I mean is, you can call Henya far right and get ostracized off the internet, but someone like me who holds a more right, centrist leaning position on the grand scope of issues, but not all, and someone who is this culture's caricature example of what they would call a colonizer, a white boy, Christian straight male. Likely would be seen by most to be deserved when it's not, but usually to them being inundated with an eerily patternistic societal upbringing or peer pressure. Or that's my fear talking, which is possible, yeah. It's easier to label a politically unaligned pundit bad things and have it be believed by the mass populace, at least, than to do it to a cute girl doing cute things, but that's not me.
Hello?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a cute boy doing cute things. Spit in the cup for some reason. I'm also obnoxious. You're probably going to realize that. Because I'm not easily bullied. I'm not easily anything. I remember one guy trying to threaten me. Okay, you're dead. He's like, I'm already dead. Want to make out. I can taste your lips from here. Maybe it's stupid, but I like to clown around with people who are mad because of no real good reason. I guess I'm a troll to trolls, or a troll to legitimately angry people to get them riled up and to do. I mean, look, I went through a life that that basically taught me if somebody's angry at you, the best course of action is to cause them to mess up, as in get them so incredibly rage-induced or fearful, or some type of confused and delusioned, or something, then you win. And that's how I that's how I view the court system as well. It's always going to be against you. It's very unlikely that you're going to win. But look at Alec Baldwin, where he just got he got off just because of a technical error. Or look at Bill Cosby. He got off just because prosecutors did something and he got away because he admitted it, and they said he wasn't going to prosecute him, and then they prosecuted him, which went against their signed legal document, which is not good. As long as you make and force the government to mess up, they will not use the court system against you. Because think of all the people who got out of court. Ooh. And while I'm aware of my hypocrisy in my statements and opinions, the truth is, it is not for just you to judge. It is for us to judge together, given everyone's perspective and nuance levied against facts, lies, truths, and half-truths. Yeah, that's the issue. Half-truths are a big fat issue. Only God can truly judge someone. And while I may not be religious necessarily via institutions, that doesn't mean I don't hold those values and standards. In short, if you don't like me, that's cool. If you hate me, that's also fine. It's not the end of the world for you, nor for me, nor will it bring the collapse of the VTuber community. But just understand that the views presented in my channel and the views of others are not meant to bring harm to others, unless we're refuting that sort of thing, which we might sometimes. I'm sorry to say, we might sometimes. But instead, to hopefully provide a safe space. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. I know what I said. To discuss difficult topics, and the use of a certain term is not lost on me. You know, I don't want to make a quote-unquote safe space. I want to make a sportsmanship space. We're going with that. Sportsmanship space. Like you see this awesome kick, and it's just ruined by unsportsmanlike behavior. Be a sportsman. Yeah. Like when you great thinkers would go to certain places and just argue points, and then slap each other across the face for literally no reason. Or Diogenes of Sinope, where he would actually just pee on people. Get out of the way, you bug! Oh, thank you. I absorbed its essence. I am not magic. Except, this will be online, not in a public forum, which is also online as well. Technically, YouTube comments are a public forum. Technically. I'm calling it that. We have threats of doxing, though, and in the real world, the threat of physical violence, which I am far more equipped to handle rather than online combat. That's all there is to it, I suppose. I'm just a guy who has a channel. I'm just a guy who has a channel and doesn't want to be a part of an industry for its own good. Now, if I had more confidence in myself, I'd love to go out and collaborate with literally anybody. But right now, the horrible side of my brain that reels over frequent put-downs and blinks of, what if I did this? And immediately feel guilt for thinking that crap. My dealing with guilt is still something I'm trying to challenge myself to overcome and improve upon. I'm not really here for a career, not per se. Not as a personality. Now, I am here to do things for music. I am developing video games, and I am writing books. You know, go after it. Culture. Everybody argues that the left is overtaking culture, and the right doesn't know how to create culture. You right? I mean, you also probably left. Crap. Every time I say that, it's like, you right, and I think a political right, and when I say you left, I think you left the room. Or left the YouTube video. See, my brain works different. I don't know. But I'm here to share and be open and honest and not care too much about how my words are perceived, and just have fun, talk, and discuss and interact with a community that isn't toxic. I've been on a lot of sites and communities that are filled with toxicity, and this place isn't. I don't want it to be, because I can't handle it. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to get famous. I'm not even here for any views, technically. I'm just here for a community where people are respectful and polite, but thoughtful. And that's the type of space I want to create. Now, I am here on to make money on other things. like my writing, music, video games, which my video games are a direct response to the horse crap I'm seeing in the gaming industry. This is the part where the opinions come in. Now, you can agree with all these opinions. You can say, hey, I don't like your premise, but I agree with the initial point of the premise. Sure, fine. That's perfectly fine. No judge. But I even have multiple games already written out nearly to completion, just waiting for the opportunity to gather up a small team to build it. Fighters, strategies, Zelda-likes, Pokemon-likes, and various other arcade titles I want to bring to life. Like premium arcade, not like just generic arcade style things. You might not like my music, which is metal and rock and sometimes somber pianos, just pianos. That's it. Or my books, which I use a lot of flowery language, and that's my fault. People like it. And I talk about a lot of dark subjects. Lots of dark subjects. Okay, a lot of dark subjects. But I am kind of actually working on a child's book, which is a short story meant for kids. I'm trying to figure out how I can market that by writing a children's book, but also writing a book that is absolutely not child-friendly, nor teenager-friendly, now that I think about it. Might delve into the E. But we're not talking about that. No, are we? You might not like it, but I am more preoccupied by you loving yourself. Yes, I do agree with me on this point. My mission, overall, is to have you think about yourself in an introspective manner. With me allowing you to put yourself into my shoes and see whether you have it, if you have it better or worse than I do, you can still pick yourself up and be better than the person you were. You're the only person in the charge of yourself. Nobody can take away your control, and only you can decide who you are and who you'll be. I mean, there are mitigating factors like being blackballed from certain skills, but that's fine. You can learn those skills. Well, sometimes. On a note, some issues I speak of might be an extremely sensitive nature. That's just something you'll expect from me at times. Healing is war, and war is hell. That's just how it is. Or, hell is a war. Also, since I have beliefs that are correlatively outside of the realm of common knowledge, when I say things, I might be viewed as a far leftist, when I am most definitely not. Sometimes I use subversive language without actually realizing it. I'll preface this with stating that I am working on a philosophy book known as the Provo Identity Premise. So yes, I am actually a legitimate philosopher. No degree, because degrees get disease. Degrees get disease. I gotta put that on a shirt. And I'm writing a book. A philosophy book on why social mobs and cancel culture seem to be run by narcissists. And providing studies and other such things to prove a clear bias towards themselves rather than actually protecting others, as they claim to do. An example of subversive language I used would be, or a soft example would be,
I don't care what your ethnicity is. If you're in a first world country, you're white.
Because that started as a joke about the Smithsonian African American Museum thing that talked about what whiteness is, quote unquote. Like being a hard worker, being on time, working hard, being a good person, what? And the constant phrase, black has always been synonymous with poor, which to me is just reverse racism, where people in a minority group accidentally procure racial bias against others of their own race. Or did you not realize I'm already using subversive language because I reject what is most commonly known as reverse racism, as in racism against white people. If racism is reversed, then it's your own race against you, not the majority race of a country in my eyes. You can believe different, no foul or harm. That's just the thing. You gotta subvert that language, and you gotta get people to trust you who you don't like. And then you can manipulate them into doing exactly what you want. We will use this power for good! But when I start thinking about it, there does seem to be a lot of people who view racism as racial classism, rather than just generic skin/ethnicity racism. So when these same people argue whiteness is bad, it would be more akin to economic whiteness, which I feel is also racist. But hypocrites don't follow their philosophies, they push to their logical conclusions. I'm not going to allow people to be hypocrites. So economic whiteness would, under this idea and philosophy, be attributed to every minority in the first world country. You're all rich. You're just being stolen from. by your own government. These initial political statements are not something I ascribe to on a personal level, but to those who believe these things need to be shown just how racist it looks so they can stop it. Stop it. What are you doing? Stop it. Some will listen, others will not, and I'm going to try to focus on the ones who will listen. I'm just like that. I don't know if you know this, but racism is bad. Yes, I am going to steal this from Philip DeFranco way back when. Oh, shuckles. You don't have to applaud me for that. Hey, don't boo me. I didn't mean that. Boo, you stink. Stop it. Also, taxation doesn't have to be theft. But I'm fairly positive that printing billions and driving up inflation is far more capable of leading to being labeled economic theft, in a way. And then there are times that might make me look far right, or a red pill douche nozzle, when I'm also not that either. However, it's easier to get called far right, because that's what screeching narcissists love to label normalcy. Have you noticed that? I might say something along the lines of,
Women moving into the workplace is a big reason why you can't afford a home.
this doesn't mean women working is bad necessarily, but whether we like it or not, wages never went up per household because those workers were so abundant that there was no scarcity. Add in low marriage rates and no more tax benefits for families, and it gets even worse. Ironically, this was right around the time that the gold standard went away, as well as the laws to not discriminate against race, gender, and other things, leading to everyone being able to get a job. Of course, this meant that they could make jobs, which offset some of these issues, but not enough throughout the years. That's why everybody focuses on how many jobs did we create? Oh, this many jobs. And then they lie to you because, they shut down the jobs in the COVID thing and those jobs opened back up. Sure. We know the game everybody's playing. They're just spoofing the numbers. Now, if you actually started to create jobs, that would mitigate inflation. I'm not joking about this. I'm literally not joking about this. More jobs equals less inflation and higher wages. I am not joking. Please, everybody listen. Not that I have any sway over any political thing or anything. Although it would be kind of cool, or also kind of horrifying if somebody took my opinions. Because which opinions are you taking? The ones I don't agree with or the ones I do agree with? It's just, which one am I saying? And that's why more jobs equals higher wages. It's just because it's supply and demand. Scarcity equals to value. And if women didn't have jobs overall, businesses would be at least slightly less likely to fire someone when they demanded even a double in their wages. Nowadays, businesses and factories can sometimes use immigrants on visas, or those who are not legal citizens to work for them, paying like $2 an hour, and then deporting them the moment they need to pay on the agreed upon date. That's happened so many times around me. I'm not joking, and I hate it because, their kid was born in the United States and they were not, and they didn't have a thing, and they were deported, and their kid is still here. Like, you gotta see this is something very silly and something very heartbreaking as well, because that shouldn't happen. It never should have happened in the first place. But oh well. But see what I mean? Just because I say something doesn't mean I believe it. Doesn't mean I believe it's the proper way. Without this context, your brain naturally fills in the details based on your own experiences, as it should, kind of. Stereotyping is a life-saving skill, and we use it when someone is running at us with a knife. Or you could believe he's coming to cut you a piece of cake. Can't wait to have the taste of cake, which tastes metallic and sort of coming out your mouth as red. This is like turn you into a cake. That's literally what stereotyping does. There is a mix of joking, but also a mix of truth, while also having an air of, I don't like why that is this way, but I also don't like Ubisoft abandoning Rayman, though my trust with them has evaporated to where it might be good that they never touched him again. That's just the way it is. I don't like death either, yet we die. And I'm gonna say something that you're not gonna like, but I'm gonna say it anyway, because that's how we roll. Facts don't care about your feelings, but the truth cares more about your feelings. It cares about everyone and how you use it to make a better world. You can use facts to twist a narrative. The truth is naturally untwistable. The facts are the visage, the magnifying glass to the truth. I can be twisted for a time if given the incorrect perspective, but the point is this. It's the truth that the Jews don't eat pork, but the fact is some do. Facts are the sand to truth's sand castle. A stone won't care about you, but a castle definitely will care about how you treat that stone, just as you care about how a virus treats your cells. And with that, I'm off to go start a new video. Yeah, maybe even a few memes. That's all you guys get. A glimpse at what the future might hold and a little bit of about the present. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions, and that's totally understandable. I do plan on doing an update video every quarter of the year, in line with business can I say the word? Portfolios, because I want to get into that groove and how I'm planning to run my business. So if you have any actual questions, place them in any video, and I'll try to answer them either on the spot or on a video, as long as I feel like it's a broad enough question people might want to know, or something about what I said that needs to be clarified. My image is just an image, and I can change our identity, but I still feel, but I will still be that little pea brain, that little pea brained idiot with a nearly 140 visual IQ that will always say,
Hi, I love you.
just don't be a dick. And if you are, don't be it for too long, or I'm gonna introduce you to circumcision of the castration kind. What am I saying? I should probably stop talking. Oh, come on. Hello? I'm not gonna give advice on how you live your life, but I will give you advice on living life in the best way possible, if that's a thing. If I'm wrong, hey, that's perfectly wrong of me to do, right? It's not justification for it. I'll reconcile. So this has been Demo, shining off. Yes, I am a nut bar. I don't know why I kept talking. Because that's the thing. I have aphasia. And when I speak, words don't come out the way I want to. That's why I have a thesaurus in my brain. That's why I'm a poet. So I can make things sound cohesive. If I sound like I'm making too big words in a sentence, well, that's because my brain says, hey, you know this small word that would perfectly encapsulate exactly what you want to say? See, there it goes again. Yeah, we're going to throw that out of your ear, and you're going to have to try to figure out how to convey what exactly you're going to convey. See, there it goes again. See what you're trying to say? See what I try. See? Raging oceans filled with large blue whales. You get my point. This is me trying to be better, and I hope to showcase it as journalistic integrity to show that you can do it as well. There's a lot of people who don't feel good about being themselves, or they feel that they have tons and tons of issues that would prevent them from doing things that they want to do. I have always been the type of person to say, hey, even though I don't know what I'm doing, if I want to do something, I just do it. If I fail, fine. I'll learn. And that's how I did with music. I started absolutely horrifying. Horrible and horrifying. You go combining words again. Brain. And I made this model, which is not perfect at all. This is not perfect at all. It's not perfect at all. I'll do everything myself here. I have a lot of skills, but they're, like a big river, shallow. It's not deep, but when the river runs dry, at least I have options. I might not be the best at it, but hey, I'm good. I can draw. Not good. It's more like sketching on paper. I can't do digital. That's weird how that works, but oh well. And yeah, I want to be the best man I can be, and that's just how it's gonna be. So keep trying. And if I do things wrong, you're supposed to help me pivot, right? Now, this isn't say, be freaking mean, or say, hey, you went overboard and I love your content. Why did you say that you liked ice cream that is not my type of flavor? Judgment is reserved for all of us, not just you against me, or me against you. It's literally, we're all in the same boat, and we should start acting like it. If you throw something at somebody in the same boat, if you throw chunks of water, and you're like, hey, you're not in the same boat with me, but you are, so I can sink your boat, and then you drown along with everybody else. And then you wonder why everybody is hounding you. See, that's my point. Anyway, gone on long enough. If you want to see me do stupid, absolutely stupid stuff, but you don't want to see, crap, but you don't want to see, like, super sensitive stuff, or historical stuff, or philosophical things that make your brain turn and like it creates the gears, and your cells are in the brainstem are like, hey, we need some oil over here, and then they just burst and there's steam coming out of your ears. That's how you know you thinking. Yeah, if you steaming, you thinking, okay? That's not the point. If you want to see memes, go to Demosthenes. My name, just I in front of it. You'll find it in the link in the description. And if you want to see me play games nobody else wants to watch, it's also in the link in the description on Demos Controller. There will eventually be a place where, there's already Rejoice Box music, where I also do a lot of music things, but I haven't gotten that far yet. There's not really anything uploaded. We're gonna do things later on. Are you going to have a good day? Make yourself have a good day. Smile. Never forget. I love you, and catch you next time. And this is where I say goodbye. 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 Have a nice day. Don't die. I love you entirely, platonically. Like I said, don't die. Please. Okay. I'll stop now. There you go. We'll move the camera back. Move the camera. Well, is this going to be good? Is it going to be going good? Good. Is that a side mission? Yes, here we go. I don't need to take a breath. Presenting nothing. It was what you always wanted, wasn't it? Sometimes I need a break from talking. Oh crap. Oh crap. Come to our macaroni party, then we'll take a nap. Oh crap. Oh crap. Come to our macaroni party, then we'll take a nap. You can give me money when I have the business up, but you can get products that way. Edit that part out of the video. I don't know why I'm talking. Is that a freaking red orb? Stop that. Stop that. You have no permission to go through my drink, red orb. Get out of my face, please. Orb. Thank you. You know it. You know it, lightning bug. I assume that was a lightning bug. If we allowed it to be viewed that way, and we've just allowed our identity to be, we just allowed it, we allowed it identity. As long as you don't bring me back down. OBS having an issue over there. Crap. Meh. Well, that drink was nasty. Why did I make that? So I respect this place. Am I birding? I've been on a lot. I don't like what you do. And I was had too much to drink. The light is bugging me. Why is this on? I'm not going to the stock market. Don't. I'm not going to the stock market. Nope. No stocky marky. What? Why is my tongue going through my chin? Bruh. No, that's not good. That's painful.